Shalom, Yasharallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to you, hopefully, Dakim, that are out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, coming at you with a lesson that came into my mind when I was actually just, I was just driving to work, to or from, I can't remember, but I was just kind of thinking about the difference between Esau and Jacob and how the Lord gave Esau the mountains. And it was a symbolic, I guess you could say, of the type of lands that the Lord put each of Esau and Jacob in, because they both got lands given to them. And then just like Yahweh Shai, Shai, everything that he does just perfectly is woven together. Like you're always just getting that aha moment, you know? And that aha moment came to me when, Esau, being the impatient man that he is, and being a hunter means he always has to kill something, because in the mountains you can't really have like open fields and farmable land. I mean, of course, we know, I'm sure he farmed a little bit, but like the scripture just say in Job that he wasn't really a farmer, even because they were eating juniper roots, braring like dogs. I'll have to bring that up. But I kind of want to get to some of the scriptures that I had prepared for this. Lord willing, I can get to that scripture later. But these were a straight beast, caveman-like state, and this was during the time of the Dark Ages, but also, because he had himself a little bit together when he was in Mount Seir, because he had those big pillars that he started over there, which carried out through the rest of his cultures, like the Romans, the Greeks, and that you see even in Washington, D.C., and in places all around the world where those big white pillars that are in the front of their main capital buildings or government buildings, it's that Roman culture started even way back then. At Petra and Mount Seir. So, going into being in a mountain, you can't really farm. You got to hunt, so it goes to show you that even the place that he lives in forces him to live the lifestyle that Yahweh Shai blessed him with. Just like Jacob, but Jacob has a fertile land flowing with milk and honey. And I was looking for a scripture to find specifically to try to find what the term milk and honey is. There's just so many of them because Yahweh Shai promised, a lot of good things to us. So that's what I'm kind of wanting to get from this lesson. I'm going to get to it quick. This is just a few visual examples of how Esau was living in the caves, during the Dark Ages, more specifically, cave paintings, briars, braying in the bushes, all this stuff. But the scripture that I found about Jacob being promised the land of milk and honey, and Esau obviously living like the cave beast that you saw. This is Leviticus, which is in the book of the law, Leviticus 20 and 24. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land. And this is talking about because the heathens were living there at the time when we crossed the Jordan and made our way through the first city in Jericho and all throughout the different lands to cleanse it. Continuing, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. So all these highlighted words are obviously the and, but it's the milk and honey is a phrase that I had searched in here. Let me go up to the top, milk and honey. But as you can see, if the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into the land, Numbers 14 and 8, and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Salakia, again, just emphasizing the point of that the Lord is just going to overflow his blessings. Milk and honey is symbolic to having abundance. It's not literally milk and honey, But look at this. In Jeremiah, Exodus, Numbers, Song of Solomon, Deuteronomy, Ezekiel, Leviticus, Exodus, Isaiah, all these different books that talk about Yahweh Shai, giving Israel milk and honey. And obviously, milk and honey, there's a lot of different analogies that was used for. I have to get into some of these scriptures, but the majority of the ones I was thinking of are talking about the land being inherited. Uh, I guess I read this one. Deuteronomy 6:3. Hear therefore, Israel, and observe to do it, and it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord Yahweh, the power of thy fathers, hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. So point made there. And I wanted to get these ones that Esau's land is in the Mount Seir. This is Deuteronomy 2:5. Meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land, because it's not worth anything. It's desolate. Yahweh Shemai, man, this is what I just gave the heathens. This ain't even good enough of a gift to give you. Like, if I gave you this land, it'd be an insult. You know, not so much as a foot breadth, like the breadth of your foot, which could be what, 3, 4, 5 inches. Because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession. Going into, that's where he's going to dwell. And then there's another one in Joshua 24:4. This is, and I gave unto Isaac, Salakia, and I gave unto Isaac Jacob and Esau, and I gave unto Esau Mount Seir to possess it. But Jacob and his children went down into Egypt. And you have to understand that Yahweh Shai allotted each of the nations in the whole world with a plot of land. So ultimately, after 1,000 years, these heathen will be getting their land back. But ultimately, Mount Seir that we established is for Esau is ultimately going to get destroyed. And one of the best, I guess you could say, chapters that I was able to find to describe was the whole chapter of Ezekiel 35. You can even start at the top, Ezekiel 35. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And this is talking about Esau, Edom, Mount Seir, the number one enemy of Jacob, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Verse 3, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. But I thought the Lord loved everybody. In this case, and in all the cases throughout all history, the Lord has always been against Esau. There's never been a time where the Lord was cool with Esau. Even when he was reincarnated or in the body of Cain, and came back reincarnated in the spirit, being called Esau. Because the Lord said to Cain, if you did good, wouldn't I accept you? But he never did good. Continuing, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate, the highest nation that's going to get destroyed. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, so you have to understand that this is going to be a personal thing that Yahweh Shai is going to make sure that the Lord, that the world knows that the Lord did this. Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and that is a perpetual hatred is something that never stopped, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. The Lord doesn't care about the blood of these other heathens, what Esau went and did to these other heathens. It said, has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, going into the end of our captivity. The Esau perpetuated it, as the scriptures say right here. Verse 6, therefore as I live, which is forever, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Saith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee, because Esau is described as a bloody man, always out to war, always killing something, always torturing something. God's to get off by that blood shed. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth, ultimately being that land, and also Babylon the Great, where Esau has one of his strongholds. Verse 8, and I will fill his mountains, his governments, with his slain men in thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers, and Salakia, they shall they fall that are slain with the sword, because it's going to be a forceful, violent change and transition of this world. Verse 9, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh, because it's going to be a forever thing. This is the last two scriptures, and then I want to get that Job, and then I'm going to close out. This is Ezekiel 35 and 14. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, power, when the whole earth rejoices. Everybody in the whole world is going to rejoice when the so-called white man is taken out of power. I will make thee desolate. 15, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel. Again, the Lord is only concerned of what Esau, the man in power, did to his children, Israel. Because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Because Esau, when the Babylonians came, was helping the Babylonians. Getting Jake that fled away, was grabbing him up and taking him to the Babylonians. So they were always siding with the other nations, looking for the opportunity to get one over Jacob. Esau's looking for the opportunity to gang up with the other nations to get against Jacob. Because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. So I'm going to go find that Job. Because like I said, he wasn't really eating, or farming, as you could say. So this is Job 30 and 30 and 4, because the other one is just talking about Esau going into the wilderness, and this is how he acted once he was in that caveman state, as I referred to, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. And that's those videos that you see of the wild man, the hairy man, in the dark ages pictures where you have the melanated, you had Judah, Levi, Benjamin in their castles, and they're shooting arrows at the wild man coming through. I mean, you can look it up. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Again, a cave is something where it's stopped of light. You can't grow anything. In the rocks, it's too rocky. You don't have fertile soil. In the cliffs of the valleys, which is like a steep point, again, not farmable. This man was given the most shitty shit land. Not like anything is bad in this earth that Yahweh Shai created, but he created certain environments that are going to be harsh for these devils to live. Among the bushes, they brayed, which is like making grunting noises. Under the nettles, they were gathered together, like just in the trees. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men, the lowest of the low, and they were viler than the earth. So, hey, man. So, this is talking about Esau, man. It's always been nothing but a down, dirty dog, man. And I got more respect for a dog and a cockroach serving their purpose than these nasty, out of natural order beasts that go against everything natural. They kill everything natural. They cannot coexist with anything natural in their world. They always got to kill. They always got to be a dominant thing and overtake whatever they're in. That's a parasite, man. That's exactly what this parasite is going to be taken care of when Yahweh Shai returns to crack those clouds in what the world calls a so-called UFO in those chariots, man. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect. Till next time.